Welcome to Let's Talk Bible. My name is John. I'm here with my brother Winchell. Tonight we have another great episode for you. Investing. How should Christian invest when it comes to our finance? A lot of people believe investing is a sin. Is it gambling? Is now sport betting is a big thing, and it's starting to influence the church. As a matter of fact, I heard a sermon the other day that sport betting has become a problem for Christians. Some Christians consider it to be investing. My brother Winchell, let's go. Let's get to it. What do you think, brother?
I mean, to me, the whole betting system, I'm not into it. I don't want to get involved in that. But if you're talking about investment, in that one, I'm good. I'm on that route. But betting about sports and whatever it is, because at first it was illegal. I mean, I think it was illegal for a reason. But investment was never illegal. So I mean, to me, it's like a no-brainer.
But I don't know. As a Christian, I'm. Here's the question. I agree with you. I agree with you. I think investing. I don't think there's any issue with investing, especially if you do it properly. You know what I'm saying? I think God gave us invest. Basically the idea of investing or investment, so we can better ourselves, so we can protect our family, financially, and if we can protect our kids' future. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff, all that great things that happen with investment. But
And sorry to cut you off,
mm,
but even in the gospel too, when Christ gave the talents, he gave one five and he made 10. He gave one, I guess two, he made four. Example, and the one that has one didn't do anything. He says you're a fool. At least put it in the bank for some interest. So you can see, there's there's something there.
here's the question though. Here's the question though. The question is, with sport betting, let's just say in the Bible, in that story, the one that with the 5 talent. Let's just say God gave him 5 talent and he used that 5 talent to bet in sports and he ended up making tenfold. Would that be a sin?
We know that wasn't that wasn't the case. We know
But
that. Oh, wait. I mean, to be honest with you, people can. It's not like you're not gonna make money betting. I mean, of course you can make money. As a matter of fact, you can make more money betting than investing. But is it the proper way to do it? I don't think so. I think 'cause- and again, when it comes to investment, there are like no different aspect of investment. Can be for long term, short term, this and that. But investing is more like I mean, they can make it for short term, long term too. But I think to me is we have to like go back to how things were before. Investing was never illegal, but betting was, gambling was. And as a matter of fact, if you invest right now, there's no warning signs. They're gonna be like, okay, you know what, buy your stock carefully and make sure you take care
lose.
of these things.
You can still
Yeah,
lose.
you can lose, but it's like, but you buying, hoping that the company will be stable. But when it comes to betting, even when they have the commercials, they still have a little at
Dis-
the end, or like I don't know how the guys speak. They like that's what I like about
disclaimer,
commercials.
disclaimer.
The last 10 seconds of disclaimer is like so fast you can barely hear anything the person is saying. But they're still warning you from gambling. If you have an addicted problem, this and that, contact this number. This is clearly
Can
a
you be
warning
addicted?
sign.
Let's focus on stocks. Can you be addicted to stocks though?
What does that mean? What does that
Like,
mean?
like
I don't
every
think you can
money,
be addicted.
every money that you have, you putting it in stocks and hoping, and then the company fails.
No, but that's still investing. Because let's just say, for example, let's just say there's a stock XYZ, and then you do your financial statements, you do your work, you look at the financial, like about everything about the company, and see, you know what, that's a good company. There's potential for growth. Okay, let's just say every week you buy X amount of that stock. Now there's a chance you can, if the company stays stable, you make money. But if the company doesn't, is not stable, you can lose money. But I think you will have a chance to minimize your loss.
I
It's not
mean,
like you're gonna wake up one day and then the company's out. I mean, sometimes that happens, but it's not often.
but okay. I'm not advising anybody to bet. I'm just challenging it because I'm gonna tell you what. sometimes what I have trouble with. Let me know if I'm wrong. I have trouble with, for example, betting or even gambling per se. The question is, would you say betting and gambling are sinful?
But is there a difference? Isn't that the same thing?
Same thing, yeah, yeah. Gambling, betting, would you say they're sinful?
I mean, I would, because I would never say anything about betting or gambling.
You would say they're sinful.
Yes, I would say it's sinful.
I don't know, man.
But you wouldn't, wait, you disagree?
Here's the thing. I mean, I don't even know how to say it. I don't think I'm comfortable to say they're sinful. What I would say is they can become sinful. I say the gambling and betting can become sinful. But are they a sin? My question would be I don't know, but they can. What do I mean by can? Like you said, you can become addicted. Um, they're always giving you this disclaimer because they know there's if you do it, there's a high chance you probably will become addicted. That's why I would tell Christians don't do it because once you start doing it, there's a high probability you might become addicted. However, let's just say people who manage to have self control and they pay all their bills, they have a few dollars left, and they're like, you know what, I have $2 left, no hard feelings. Um, I feel like buying a bag of chips, but you know what? I'm not buying. I don't feel like eating chips. Let me just buy $2 lottery, and they bought $2 lottery ticket. I don't think that's a sin.
But buying the lottery ticket, you already know you're gonna lose. There's like
I mean,
the probability is so high of you losing than winning. That's the crazy thing about it.
but I agree with you. I agree with you. There's a
Compared to like, let's just say you use that. You see, it's the same example. Let's just say, you know what, you have $2 instead of buying a bag of chips. You know what? Let me just buy a stock. Let's just say a stock XYZ. You buy this stock at $2. You know that $2 can go to three, four, $5. At the same time, too, that $2 can go to $1.50, $1.20, $1. But you have the option to remove your money. You say, you know what, the stock is not working. It looks like the company is not doing the work, what I was expecting. Let me just take my money out. And then instead of taking your $2, you end up taking 140. You lose 60 cents because the company wasn't doing what you were expecting. As the difference with buying a ticket, okay, what control do you have over that? Once you pay the ticket, you have no control.
but let me tell you something too. Let's use day trading for example. Day
Okay,
trading. Let's just say you have $100 in your account to day trade,
okay,
and you buy a stock for $50. Even if you minimize your risk, you don't really have full control because we know this how you could buy this stock and then within like minutes you didn't see it coming and a big red boom within like 2 seconds you lose $50 because you
but
didn't realize there was a big dump.
that's not how it works, though.
But come on, that happened all the times though, right?
That's why people says that's why when it comes to day and let's talk about that. For example, day trading, right?
Yeah.
I think investment, I see it that way because investment, people invest for retirement for like 20 plus years. Day trading is more like you invest for a shorter amount of time. Let's just say for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, or even 30 minutes, or for the day. That's why we call it day trading. You know, at the end of the day, everything should be out, and you should sell everything on your account to start the next day fresh. Now, with that example, with $100, you buy a stock for $50. The, when it comes to issue day trading, that's why people say when you're not gambling. That's why you cannot just buy a stock and don't use any stop loss, even if it's a mental stop loss. But like I said, since we know there's tendency for a stock to just drop, plummet like that, that's why we put the hard stop loss. Let's just say you buy the stock at $50, and then you say, you know what, $50 compared to gambling or buying a ticket. Once you let's just say you buy $50 worth of tickets.
Mhm.
Once you pay it, you cannot take anything back. You're just hoping that you make some money
Mhm.
compared to like day trading. When you buy a stock for $50, you still hope for the stock to go up, but you have control to like remove your money if it doesn't go your way.
But you still lose.
But do you see the difference?
There's a big difference. I agree. I see the difference. But
Now with the $50 store, you can say, you know what, I'm risking $10. It's the
yeah,
same thing with like when you invest for retirement. You every paycheck you give some money toward your retirement. But who says the market's not gonna plummet and you lose all your retirement money? That happened during COVID. That happened during the war stuff. But that's not gambling.
but
You just invest in yourself for the future.
I just think it's basically, how do they say it? Semantics, play with words. That's why I
But
believe, this is why I believe it's gambling. I believe investing is gambling too. It's just a different type of gambling. One is a safer gambling, and the other one is a riskier gambling. Because let me tell you why. I want you to listen to this. The reason I say that is, you let's do a research. Like me, I can use myself for example. There's so many stock. I've done my research, studied a stock sheet. The stock had like a high I think what, 2 years ago, but this stock high potential. I mean, good news after good news. And then when I read the expert report, they're like, man, this stock can go up to like 20, 30, 40% within the next 2 to 3 years. I'm like, wow, that's a great investment. So guess what I did? But the stock is dropping. And they're like, well, that's how the stock market works. It goes up, it goes down. Just ignore it. Just ignore it, John. The stock has great news, great company. It will go up. And you already know the story. Guess what happened? Ignore it, ignore it. Next I know, let's just say if I invested $2,000, guess what? That $2,000 now is down to 500. And
but but the difference is when you had I mean, if you invest it for the long term, you just leave it. But what I'm saying is that you still own the stock.
but eventually now the stock now negative 1,500. Now only $500 left. So guess what? Now you like, it's been 2 3 years and the stock is draining. So instead of losing everything, let me just take what I have. Not let me just take what I have. So
Can
now
you can you do that? Can you do that with other with like buying a ticket?
but here's the difference. Here's the other thing too. Let's just say Oklahoma City, right? Oklahoma City, and I'm not advising people to gamble. I'm just giving an example. Like, if people listen to this podcast, I'm not saying you should gamble. And like I said, I believe gambling can become a sin. I don't know if, as a lot of preachers who knows more than me, the ones people that are biblical will tell you straight up that it's a sin. And even if I don't like it, I probably have to agree with them. You know what I'm saying? Especially people who study the Bible more than me, like scholars. But me, I just feel like I cannot say it's a sin, but it can become a sin. Because let me say Oklahoma, let's say Oklahoma City, right? OKC was the best basketball team this year. And let's say OKC is playing Washington Wizard. And everybody's playing for OKC, and Washington Wizard was one of the worst team in the NBA. And somebody studied the sheet and saw everybody's playing for OKC, all the top superstar. OKC needs to win this game to gain the number one seed in the West. And then Washington Wizards don't care. They want to lose because they want to get the number one pick in the NBA draft. And somebody decide, you know what? That's a good game to gamble. So they go and bet for OKC to win. Would you say that's a good gamble or a bad gamble?
But what's behind it? The main thing behind it is to make you watch the games.
No, but let's just say even if you don't watch the game, you just put money saying OKC will win this game, and you study everything, stat sheet, compare both teams. You did your homework and you pick OKC to win, and you bet for OKC. Would you say that's a good gamble?
I mean, yeah, because all the odds are on your favor.
So what's the difference between that and you studying a company? This company is gonna do this, do this. So you know what? That's a good company to buy, and you buy the company. What I'm basically saying is, even though you bet against for OKC to win, you still don't know. Washington might still beat them. So if you can't guarantee something to happen, then I think both of them should be viewed equally.
No, but the difference is that's what I'm telling you again. The difference between that is that when you invest, you have the chance to remove your money.
Hmm.
But when you betting or gambling, once you place that bet, you're done. Even in the stock market, day trading, if let's say I buy 1,000 shares of a stock or 200 shares of a stock, I can sell it right away, or I can leave it for 10 years. Can you do that with gambling?
That make a difference.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because once you like, okay, let's just say you bet on OKC, okay, but let's just say we click, boom, you bet, and then what? Now the option is like lose your money or hoping to win.
Yeah,
But when you invest or you buy a stock, you have more options. Your option is to lose your money, or we remove your money because you didn't make a good investment, or you can leave that investment for long term. I think that's different than just than gambling.
that's why I
The,
call.
the only thing with day trading is like the trading is very risky. That's the only thing because you're trying to get a greater reward in a shorter amount of time. So that's what makes it very risky compared to like when you do long term investment. You don't really have to worry about the daily changes in the market.
Yeah,
So
but that's why I mean I agree with you. But that's why you see me personally when somebody asks me, I'm gonna be honest. Like I would, it's hard for me to tell somebody, hey, if you play $2 lottery ticket, it's a sin. Like I know pastors will be like, yeah, it's a sin. You can't do that. You can't. You should not. But what I would tell them is, if it can become a sin, let's just say you have you barely have food on your table, or your kid's hungry. You're in debt. You have credit card debt. You barely pay. This guy went to the casino. I was watching on the news. He was crying because he bet all of his mortgage money, and he was crying because he lost everything, and he didn't know what he was gonna do. That it's a sin. I mean, there's no question. But if somebody want to have fun and enjoy their time, I could be wrong, but I don't
I,
think that's a sin.
I think there's not you can have fun a different way. Instead of wasting that money in buying a ticket, you can give it to somebody who's less fortunate and want to buy a burger or want to buy something to eat. I
So
think
what
that's
about
I think that's a good option.
so what?
And I think another safer option too, instead of buying that lottery ticket and hoping because once you purchase it, you're not gonna there's a 1 in a million chance for you to win. Then you might as well just put that money in your saving account. And if you buy instead of buying a ticket every day for $1, put that dollar in your account every time. You will get interest, and within 10, 20 years, you will see a big difference.
But I agree with you there. I agree with everything you said. That what you said is 100% perfect. But my only thing is, like I told you before, I just don't think pastors should say flat out it's a sin. Because my question is, how is it a sin?
Because you're not being a good steward of what got entrusted to you.
How? Let's
Because you
just
waste.
let's just say you have everything is covered financial wise, and you have extra money in your pocket, just chip change to buy things.
What does the Bible say? When you pay all your bills and then you have extras,
Mm.
you can do two things. You
You,
put
you,
some on your saving account, or you can give to the less fortunate.
you did. Let's say you did both. People I know people that did both. They give to the
Okay,
more
if
fortunate.
you do both, then you should not have any more money left.
No, they do. They still have a little $5 in their pocket. I know people that
Put
have.
it, put it in the saving. Then
But
you have $0 in your pocket.
here's the
$0
question.
in your pocket.
Here's the question. How many money have we wasted buying things we don't need right now? We can go to our house. We go to the store. We're like, oh, I need this. Oh, let me buy it. And you don't buy it. I'm not saying that's right, but that just shows you
But
I don't think it's a sin.
guess what though? Your same example is different because
Mm,
you buy a lot of things that you don't need.
mm.
You still have them in your possession. You
But you
can
don't.
you can
But
you can
you're
do a backyard sale,
not
or you can sell them on places where they allow you to sell those things. So that's what I'm saying. You didn't waste the money. It
but let me
was
ask you a
by
question.
purchase.
Video games. Let's say you buy a video games. You you
Okay, video game. Okay,
you buy a PlayStation for $500,
okay.
and you use it for 2 years, and after that you never use it again.
I mean, it's still a good investment.
Is that a good steward of your money?
I would say yes.
How?
I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
You buy that PlayStation. I mean, you could have waited for the PlayStation to go out to for the price to drop so you can buy it. But let's just say you didn't want to wait, but you buy it right away, $500. You didn't buy it for $500 for the 1 day, and there's no hoping. You have that investment in your house for the whole 2 years, and you can't even have it for even more. And let's just say after 2 years you don't want it, you can still sell it as a used. PlayStation for lesser money. Let's just say for $100 or $200 or even for $300. So technically, you not only it's just like a car. You use it and you depreciate, and then at the end you sell it for a lesser value. It's the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Don't get me wrong. I agree with you. I agree with everything you said, but it's just like I'm a little bit skeptical saying like like it's a sin. If somebody asks me, "Hey John, you know, like playing $2 lottery ticket," I would advise him not to do it. Don't get me wrong. I would tell him flat out, I don't recommend it. Don't do it because that can become a habit and that can become something that you do, and a lot of time it doesn't end well. But will I say flat out if they do it they're sinning? I don't think I think I still need to work on that. I probably still need to study more on that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I agree. Maybe we have to like find verses where it says that, but I think the main thing about it is you have to be a good steward of what God entrusted to you,
Yeah.
because everything belongs to God. And I think me personally, by just buying a ticket, just for $1 or $2 for whatever price, compared to buying a PlayStation or buying a stock in the market, I think it's different because the stock can still go up and down, but your money is still there.
Yeah.
But once you make a purchase for like gambling or buying a ticket, that's it. Now you're just hoping to make that millions that they trying to sell you.
But let's say
So
you
it's
make
the
the
same
million.
way. Yeah,
Let's say you make the million and you try to give 10 or 20, 30% to the church. Should the church take it?
that's that. I mean, I don't have a church, so that's a different
If
discussion.
you're a pastor, would you take it?
I mean, if the person comes to me and says this is how I get the money, and my conviction is this is gambling, I would say no, I don't need it. Because the thing about the church is not a corporate an institution made by the
Yeah.
world, is by God, and the one that provide for the church is not us, is God through us. God used people he wants to provide for the church because we have a clear example in the Old Testament when God wanted to build a temple, he told Moses and he stirred the people's hearts so they can give.
Yeah.
So we cannot just say oh because somebody have millions and we have to get money from them. No, if we need money for the church, we go on our knees and go to the Lord of the church to provide for those specific needs.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's some great discussion, man. And
Yeah,
whoever's watching, let us know what you think. Do you believe that investment or investing in general is a sin? Christians should not get involved in the stock markets because there are Christians who believe stocks, anything that has to do with the world in terms of money, like when it comes to putting a little money in to get more money out, it's a sin. There are Christian denominations that believe that Christians should not invest at all, especially stocks. The stocks, they believe it's a evil scheme. It's a devil scheme. So let us know what you think. Do you think investing is a sin? Do you think playing the lottery is a sin? Do you think sport betting, which is becoming really big, do you think that's a sin? Let us know what you think. Again, Wancho, that was a great topic.
yeah, indeed.
All right. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.